Welcome back to another tips and tricks video for the Delhi Sultanate and Age of Empires 4. In this video, I'm going to be highlighting two technologies that are unique to the Delhi Sultanate and show you ways that you can use these out on the battlefield, and particularly some ideas about how you can strategize around these in the early Third Age. And no, it does not revolve around elephants. Now, if you want to learn more about the Delhi Sultanate, I do have some other build order guides available on the channel. I'll leave a link in the description to a playlist that I have put together for you. And you can also join the Discord, where we have lots of daily conversations where we strategize about every single civilization and talk about up and coming things for Age of Empires 4. Okay, let me give you a closer look at these technologies. So I'm here in the Third Age. You can see I've trained up some man-at-arms and built my basic little sim city. And what I want to show you are two technologies. One is available at the blacksmith, and it is called the Forced March. Now this is a very, very cool tech that allows your infantry to sprint for 10 seconds. And 10 seconds is a long time in the scheme of a battle. And it makes them move 100% faster for 10 seconds. It says they cannot attack while it is active, but it can be canceled by initiating an attack. So essentially, you sprint in the battle, they start fighting. That's all you need anyways, but they won't, hack down an enemy and continue to sprint on to the next one necessarily, just so you understand that. So Forced March, that is available at the blacksmith in the Third Age. Delhi is the only civilization that can do this. The other technology is going to be Honed Blades, which is available with the House of Learning if you age up with this in the Third Age, which I always recommend doing for the Castle Age. This ability will increase the melee damage of man-at-arms and knights by +3. This will really give your men-at-arms a boost over other infantry out on the battlefield, and of course, paired with your other technologies at the blacksmith, you're really going to be in good shape. So I'm going to also show you the time it takes to research these in case you're wondering. So in this scenario, picture you've just reached the Third Age and you want to try to mass up a quick man-at-arms army to try to run down your opponent. Perhaps he has a lot of archers that aren't going to be countering man-at-arms very well, or has archer spearmen, right? This could be a good opportunity. You could also think about sprinting down against some enemy siege units. So if you look at the blacksmith, the Forced March is going to take 45 seconds to research. Now, this is only because I have 3 mosques full with scholars. As with the Delhi, their techs are free, but you increase the speed by garrisoning scholars inside their mosques. And honestly, by the Third Age, you should already be at 2 full mosques, thinking about a third. And a lot of times I will actually, because I like to use the efficient production inside the barracks in the Second Age, I will, once I hit the Third Age and need to start boosting techs again, ungarrison these scholars and throw them in the mosque so I can quickly get these techs. So the idea is to get this out really quickly before your enemy can amass a bunch of mangonels or something like that. So I'm going to go ahead and research the Forced March. You can also see that your melee attack and your melee armor. Now, I've already researched the tier 1, but this would be tier 2. Those are going to take a minute apiece if you have 3 mosques filled with scholars. That just gives you a ballpark. Obviously, your experience is going to vary. If you have less scholars in here, they're going to take a little longer. So first thing I do is queue up that Forced March, go ahead and either get my attack or defense, or maybe I want to go for my ranged armor. And then at the House of Learning, the Honed Blades is going to take 1 minute and 30 seconds. So I have all these techs. You want to queue these up the instant you get in the Third Age, and I do recommend having at least 2 blacksmiths out. Now, let's look at how long it takes to train man-at-arms. So they come equipped man-at-arms in the Third Age. You don't have to upgrade them at the barracks or anything since they're not available until the Third Age. But they will take 20 seconds to train. Now, 20 seconds, it's not too long, but it's a lot longer than our spearmen. Well, that takes 15 seconds. But what you can do is garrison your scholar inside of here if you've researched the efficient production at the mosque, and this will make it so that you can train these in 11 seconds. So you can really amass an infantry army extremely quickly. What I will do is actually put my scholars inside these mosques to boost my techs, and then throw them in this barracks and just keep pumping units, waiting My goal is for the opponent actually to attack me, because I would prefer him to be out of position, close to my base, where I'm going to be able to sprint him down, rather than if he's behind a wall and I have to go to him. It's going to be a little bit harder. So if you're trying a strategy like this, it's probably better against an opponent who you think is going to be pushing, or that you can catch out on the map. Okay, so I've got all these techs in queue. Hone Blades just is about done. We've got our technologies researched here at the barracks, and let's say we're ready for a fight. Now, what I would do if I'm getting ready to really make a big charge, and I think this could be, a wipe out the enemy's army moment, and, I already have the techs I kind of want for this age, I will select all my moss, hit F, which will ungarrison the scholars, and I will do the same thing with my racks. And typically, I might even have more scholars in this, but look right here. I already have 10 scholars that can stand on the back line and be healing up these man-at-arms. Man-at-arms are already really tanky units, and combined with the scholars healing, going to be awesome. Now, I haven't researched all the techs for these. This swiftness is a crazy ability. It makes it so your scholars essentially sprint around the battlefield at all times. They're extremely fast. But let me show you how this sprint looks. Now, I like to put my troops in this line formation because I don't want them kind of running into each other's backs as they get into the battle. I kind of feel like if you spread them out, it'll help them get a surround on the opponent and make sure every unit is attacking. But your experience is going to vary. It's going to depend on what the enemy is doing. So let's take a look at what this sprint looks like. Let's do a group that would just run like normal. Okay, I'll put them all in closed formation just so we can kind of see a little better comparison here. Okay, so here's what these would look like if they were moving into battle here. Okay, that's the speed, and I'll just sprint these ones. I'm going to activate the ability. You can do that by hitting Q, and look at those go. These guys are booking it. So they are going to fly into battle for a total of 10 seconds. I think I reached that spot before the 10 seconds was up. So, I mean, that was a pretty significant distance there. Let's do it with this group now. Let's see how far they can go. I wish you could see the entire grid, but let's just imagine if how many tiles they're going to travel. Okay, here we go. So typically their speed, if you look at a single one, they move at 1.12 tiles per second. So let's move them over there, activate the ability. They now move at 2.25 tiles per second. That is extremely fast, and hopefully going to be fast enough for you to sprint down those mangonels, get us around on the enemy, and start dealing this crazy amount of damage that your man-at-arms is going to have. You can see here, he's got 18 attack because I have the H2 blacksmith upgrades in addition to our House of Learning upgrade. So this is a highlight of how you can maximize your infantry with the Deadly Sultanate. Though we all love to use elephants, a lot of times your opponents are going to be expecting you to show up with elephants in the third age, and this might catch them off guard, masking up some infantry, or of course, you can mix these in with your elephants as well. So, hope you enjoyed this tips and tricks video. Check out my Deadly Sultanate guides on the channel. I'll leave links down in the description to a playlist that you can follow along with and get some starting build orders if you are new to Civilization. And let me know in the comments what you think about these abilities and if there's anything that I missed. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to catch you live on twitch.tv/FitzBro. I'll see you guys in the next one.